Welcome to ShockVault TV. If you wish to be seeing our subsequent video updates, kindly hit the subscribe button. Thank you as you do that. Imagine the quiet hum of a school library, the smell of old books, and the gentle clicking of keyboards. Now, picture that same library as the headquarters of a global dark web empire, run not by hardened criminals, but by a group of unassuming teenagers. This isn't a movie plot. This is the true story of the Liverpool Shadow Brokers, a tale of ambition, technology, and a double life that would eventually come crashing down. In the heart of Liverpool, a city known for its music and maritime history, a very different kind of revolution was brewing, hidden in plain sight. Our story begins with four friends, all students at a local comprehensive school. Let's call the ringleader Leo. Leo wasn't your typical troublemaker. He was quiet, exceptionally bright, and fascinated by the hidden corners of the internet. He and his friends, let's call them Sam, Chloe, and Mark, spent their lunch breaks not gossiping or kicking a ball around, but huddled over the library's computers. To any teacher walking by, they looked like dedicated students, probably working on a history project or coding assignment. But the reality was far more complex. They were navigating the dark web, an anonymous part of the internet not accessible through standard search engines. Initially, it was just curiosity. They were digital explorers, charting a territory that felt forbidden and exciting. They learned about cryptocurrencies, encrypted messaging, and the marketplaces that thrived in this digital underworld. It started small. Leo discovered a way to buy small, low-value items and have them shipped to drop-off points. The thrill was intoxicating. It felt like a video game, but with real-world rewards. But Leo's ambition grew. He saw a gap in the market. Many dark web vendors were unreliable and unprofessional. What if they could create a platform that was different? A marketplace built on trust, efficiency, and customer service. It was a bold, almost absurd idea for a group of 16-year-olds. Using their combined, self-taught coding skills, they started building their own platform from scratch. They called it the Shadow Market. The library, with its free, unrestricted internet access and air of academic innocence, became their unlikely office. They used anonymizing software and layered security protocols that would make a seasoned cybersecurity expert proud. To get their marketplace off the ground, they needed products. They started by acting as middlemen, or brokers. They would find vendors selling digital goods, things like hacked streaming service accounts, video game keys, and software licenses, and list them on the shadow market. They took a small commission on each sale. Their business model was simple but effective. They focused on providing excellent customer service, a rarity on the dark web. They had a support system, resolved disputes, and guaranteed transactions. Word spread quickly through anonymous forums and encrypted chats. The shadow market was a hit. Money, in the form of untraceable cryptocurrency, started pouring in. At first, it was a trickle, enough for new gadgets and expensive sneakers. But soon, that trickle became a torrent. We're talking thousands, then tens of thousands of dollars worth of crypto flowing into their digital wallets every week. They were living a bizarre double life. By day, they were normal students, worrying about exams and school lunches. By night, and during every spare moment in the library, they were digital kingpins, managing a sprawling online enterprise with customers from all over the globe. The lifestyle change was subtle at first. A new phone here, a designer jacket there. But it was hard to hide that kind of wealth for long. They started buying things that teenagers just don't own. High-end gaming PCs, expensive watches, and even making down payments on properties through complex crypto laundering schemes they'd learned about online. Their parents and teachers just assumed they were earning money from legitimate online ventures, maybe a successful app or a YouTube channel. The thought that these polite, intelligent kids were involved in something so illicit was simply unimaginable. The pressure of leading this double life began to take its toll, especially on Leo. He was the architect, the one who held all the keys to their digital kingdom. He was managing vendors, handling vast sums of money, and constantly looking over his shoulder for threats, not just from law enforcement, but from rival dark web operators. The digital world they inhabited was lawless. Scammers, hackers, and hostile competitors were a constant danger. They had to be smarter, faster, and more paranoid than everyone else. Their success became their biggest vulnerability. The shadow market grew too big, too fast. It started attracting the attention of not just small-time vendors, but major players in the criminal underworld. The items being sold on their platform started to escalate from simple digital goods to more serious contraband. This was a line Leo never intended to cross. He and his friends had started this as a tech challenge, a way to beat the system. But now they were getting entangled with genuine, dangerous criminals. The turning point came when a rival dark web marketplace launched a sustained cyber attack against the shadow market. It was a sophisticated digital war. The attackers tried to steal their funds, unmask their identities, and shut down their servers. For weeks, Leo and his team barely slept. They spent every waking hour in a frantic battle to defend their empire, patching vulnerabilities and tracing the attacks. The school library's quiet corner became a digital war room. They managed to fend off the attack, but it was a Pyrrhic victory. The stress had fractured the group. Chloe and Mark wanted out. The money wasn't worth the fear and the constant paranoia. The fatal mistake, however, came not from a rival hacker, but from a simple, real-world error. In the early days, before they were handling serious money, Sam had used a personal email address, just once, to register a domain that was loosely connected to their operations. It was a rookie mistake, a loose thread in an otherwise tightly woven web of anonymity. He thought he had covered his tracks, but he hadn't. That single email address was all it took for investigators to begin unraveling their entire operation. A specialized cybercrime unit, which had been monitoring the growth of new dark web markets, had flagged the shadow market as a significant new player. They began a painstaking investigation, working backward from transaction records on the blockchain and hunting for any digital breadcrumbs the operators might have left behind. It took months, but they eventually found that one email address. From there, they connected it to Sam's social media profiles and through him to his close friends, Leo, Chloe, and Mark. The investigators were stunned. The sophisticated masterminds they had been chasing, the operators of this slick, professional dark web market, were teenagers. They built their case quietly, gathering evidence, monitoring the teens' online activities, and preparing for an arrest. They wanted to be sure they had the right people and that their case was airtight. The teens, still reeling from the cyber attack and the internal fractures in their group, had no idea that law enforcement was closing in. The end came on a Tuesday morning. As Leo was sitting in his chemistry class, the classroom door opened. Two plainclothes detectives walked in and called his name. The same scene played out for Sam, Chloe, and Mark in their respective classes. The image was surreal. Teenagers being led out of their classrooms in handcuffs. Their schoolmates, teachers, and parents were left in a state of utter shock and disbelief. The secret was out. The digital empire, built in the quiet of the school library, had crumbled. In court, the full scale of their operation was laid bare. The prosecution presented evidence of a multi-million-dollar enterprise. They detailed the sophisticated coding, the offshore servers, and the complex money laundering schemes. Because of their age and the non-violent nature of most of the initial transactions, they avoided the harshest penalties. However, their lives were changed forever. They faced juvenile detention, hefty fines, and had to forfeit all their illegal earnings. The digital dream had turned into a real-world nightmare. The story of the Liverpool Shadow Brokers is a powerful cautionary tale for the digital age. It shows how the lines between the real and virtual worlds can blur, and how easily youthful curiosity and technical skill can be misdirected. It highlights the hidden dangers lurking in the anonymous corners of the internet and serves as a stark reminder that every online action, no matter how well hidden, leaves a trace. These were not evil masterminds, but brilliant, misguided kids who got in way too deep. Their story is a modern-day fable of ambition, secrecy, and the ultimate, unavoidable collision with reality. Thank you for watching this episode of Shock Vault TV. If you found this story as fascinating as we did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden stories that shape our world. We'll see you in the next one.